What's up, fam? Welcome to the Vessels for Glory, a brotherhood podcast where we are shaped together to carry what matters most. I'm your host, Sanele, and before we begin this journey together, I just want to take a moment to explain why this podcast exists. And the truth is, I've fought a lot of battles in silence, but now I know I'm not the only one. You see, men are constantly engaged in the battle for faith, in search for identity, resisting the pull of temptation, all while carrying the weight of responsibility. And often we do all of this alone. You see, there's a lot of men out there who love God, men who are called according to the purposes of God, many of them who want to do what is right, but quietly, many of us feel like we're figuring it all out as we go. Deep down, we wrestle with questions like, how do I lead a family when no one ever showed me how? How can I be strong spiritually while feeling weak? How do I fight the temptations I'm too ashamed to talk about? Well, how do I heal from wounds of a father who wasn't there or was distant or a father who simply was human? You see, I grew up hearing things like indoda aikali, and in isiZulu that means that a man doesn't cry. But is that true though? And what are the implications of such a thinking when you look at the results practically? How have we grown to actually embody that? Is it good? Is it bad? Ideally, we all need a community, a place where older men are walking with youngins, as they call themselves, where wisdom is shared, where correction is given, where character is formed through relationship. But as it is in some cases, or most cases, many of us are trying to navigate life without all of those relationships. We scroll through devices for our advice. We watch sermons online. We read books. But even then, we still feel like something is missing, and that's because something is. We're missing community. We're missing vulnerability. We're missing openness. And because information alone does not form a man, formation is a process. It is a struggle within a context of community and brotherhood. You see, the vision behind the vessels for glory comes from 2 Corinthians 4:7, where Paul writes that we have this treasure in earthen vessels so that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. The treasure Paul is referring to is the knowledge of the glory of God revealed through the gospel of Jesus Christ. The earthen vessels, however, are ordinary, fragile human beings like you and me. You see, the message is profound. God places his greatest treasure inside weak, imperfect people so that the glory of the work can never be attributed to the vessel but only to God. And in that sense, vessels for glory is not for extraordinary people, it's for ordinary people to carry the extraordinary treasure at home, at work, at school, everywhere. And one of the reasons that this podcast exists is because I believe many men are quietly asking questions like, how can a young man keep his way pure? Remember Psalms 119:9? Okay, a question that the Bible answers directly, but the Bible or life is full of questions like that. And maybe the answers are not so readily clear. But such questions shape the direction of a man's life. And the truth is, many of us are still learning. I'm not coming here as someone who has figured it out. I'm coming here as someone who's in the process of formation, learning, and being shaped. Someone who is also growing. So the vision is simple for this podcast. It is to create a space where men can talk honestly about faith, about character, about responsibility, about growth. A space where we can talk about things like spiritual discipline, temptation, leadership, marriage, fatherhood, identity, and the quiet battles that men face internally. Not from a place of perfection, but from a place of honest reflection. Because becoming the man God calls you to be is not a moment or an event, it is a process. In this first season, we're going to explore a theme called the making of a man. Hey, I'm so excited. We're going to talk about why men struggle in silence, I am personally looking forward to that. We're going to look at why brotherhood matters, the role of discipline, the hidden life of a man, the influence of fathers, and what it really means to become a vessel rather prepared for for God's purpose. I'm laughing because I worked for another company that had vessels in it. So these conversations are not about presenting perfect men. No, they are about forming faithful men. So I invite you, if you're listening to this and you feel like you're still becoming, you're still growing, you're still learning, then this podcast is for you. You don't have to have it all figured out. That's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be human. That's it for me for now. Join me in the next episode right here as we look at men, pain, and the silence in between. Until then, remember, we are vessels in formation, being shaped to carry what matters most.